Welcome back in the Rover Sports, guys. I'm probably going to unveil this video maybe at some point tonight, maybe even tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching the show again. It is great to have you guys on board. I'm going to do something now where I'm going to rank some coaches in one of my favorite conferences to watch in college football, which is the Big 12 Conference. It's the Big 12 Conference. It's great football. It's entertaining, high-flying offense. Maybe not a ton of defense, but you can find defenses in parts. It's out in the Midwest. It's a beautiful part of the country, combined with the South and Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River rivalry. And I think the coaches in this conference, I think that they're up there with the SEC in terms of the best coaches in all of college football. I think it's a very stacked conference of great coaches. So the thing about this list is that it's not just your average list. This isn't based on past accomplishments. It is maybe a little bit when I look at your resume, but this is projecting you towards the future in the eyes of me. So what am I going to look for in a criterion for a head football coach? What am I going to look for, and what am I going to like going forward? Like, do I like this coach going forward? Here's the other point. If you coach in a school that gets a lot of recruits and you do better, I'm looking at this coach from who's giving me the most bang for the buck, bang for my buck, meaning like you look at some places that don't recruit well, that are out here in the Big 12 and should be bottom feeders, and they do really well. That means that you're getting the most out of 3 stars and 4 stars, and you're recruiting and building a program at a place that didn't have past success, when it's easier to maybe build at one of the prolific schools in the conference. And even though that coach might do better record-wise, wins-wise, it might not mean that they're the equivalent of the head coach of these other schools. So it's going to be a fun list. You're going to see some names that are going to shock you, and I hope that you get a little bit shocked during this video. I hope you're a little bit surprised at some of these. That's what I'm trying to do, is be unique with opinions, but also not be too hokey and also fake. I know some guys on social media, whatever, they try to just make rankings lists just to, blow your mind and shock you, but this is honestly what I believe, so it should, luckily for the Big 12, it goes hand in hand, and it's not just chalk, although there might be some chalk to start. Here we go. Number 10, no YouTube cutaways yet, no editing yet like that, but number 10, we got the Kansas Jayhawks. I don't even know who coaches there, so I'm sorry. I bet we won't get the Kansas head football coach on our show, because I literally don't even know who it is. And imagine like 2 days, guys, like I want to come on your show. I remember when Mark Mangino was there, Todd Reesing. That was a fun team that won the Orange Bowl over Virginia Tech. I still look back at that team, and Todd Reesing was one of my favorite players growing up. They had a great receiver too on the edge. I forget his name, but Reesing was fun from Austin, Texas, and Mark Mangino, the big boy, he was fun. Other than that, Kansas unfortunately has been terrible. It's at a place where I thought they would do a little bit better. They fired their head coach a couple years ago. Jake Heaps was there, BYU transfer for a little bit, but overall, Lawrence is a great city, but right now it's Bill Self, it's basketball, it's more Final Fours and Elite 8 appearances for them in the sport of basketball, and at football, they don't really have that, they don't really have a foundation. I think they're getting a little bit better, but really small upgrades. So this is a good conference, and they are certainly dead last in the conference, and the coach is number 10. All right, number 9, this is going to be a guy, I liked this guy a couple of years ago. First of all, every Texas Tech quarterback he's had, I love. Mahomes, Davis Webb, and of course, Baker Mayfield. So he recruited all these guys there, and that's Cliff Kingsbury, number 9. Guy plays absolutely no defense. The program is undisciplined. The defense is bend, not break. It's a ridiculous style of football that even though the guy won 7 wins, he's on the verge of being run out of there at Texas Tech. I don't like it at all. He's trying to play more defense, which is better. Young guy, learning on the job, decent personality. I hated how he handled the Baker Mayfield thing. It was really annoying to me. The guy is is a tiny bit cocky, but also he'd be a guy that would, of course, you know, he'd be a fun guy to go to a club with. You get tons of hot women. It's Cliff Kingsbury, Ryan Gosling lookalike guy. And but bottom line, no defense, no structure, no discipline, tons of guys, you know, going out. And I think that there's also guys on their program that, you know, sometimes have been getting into trouble out there in Lubbock, Texas. Mike Leach, you could say what you want about Craig James' son, but Mike Leach held that thing down tight, and he had Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree. He had some dudes there, Seth Doje. He had some guys that can fly and can play. And Cliff just plays no defense at all. Number 8, this is a guy that I deeply respect, deeply love, would want my son probably to play for him for a couple of years, really respect everything about this program, but unfortunately this guy is older, it's a competitive conference, it's not a lifetime, my rankings are not a lifetime achievement award, but Bill Snyder is awesome. Again, pretty young to really, you know, follow Bill Snyder, but he's a guy that's won the Big 12, and he's been at Kansas State forever. And really prolific, going to be in the record books, does things the right way. And he is just really a coach that people just respect and swear by. And going to Manhattan's always tough to play. But unfortunately, you know, for Bill Snyder, they're already talking about maybe putting in another head football coach. I like him at Kansas State. I like staples of the game of college football. Nothing but respect for Snyder and what he's done in Manhattan. He certainly gets a lot of bang for the buck there. He is on the older side, but Bill Snyder's a terrific coach. And K-State, I think K-State fans, just about everyone loves him. So Bill Snyder, not much bad you could say about him. There's a lot of young rock stars on this list, though. Number 7, West Virginia. Dana Holgerson's a great guy. He goes on Pardon My Take. He is a good recruiter. He got Will Grier over there. He's going to continue to get guys in. He's a good personality. He knows offensive football, except he can't really win big games. The defense doesn't really play well. They play down to their competition a whole bunch. He's an okay football coach, but not an elite level football coach. He's a decent to pretty good coach, but he's not going to be elite. He's not going to win you huge ball games, and he's going to drop some games that he shouldn't. That leads me to number 6, Mike Gundy. Exact same way. He can't take home the bacon. He can't win the big game. With Brandon Weeden, they lost to Iowa State in 2013 it was. They had their sights on winning a championship. They did win the Fiesta Bowl with Weeden and Justin Blackman and that Oklahoma State team, which was absolutely terrific. So Oklahoma State has good quarterback play. Zach Robinson was there. He was a good quarterback. Mason Rudolph was just there, good quarterback. J.W. Walsh. They've definitely had some guys. Clint Shelf is a decent quarterback, pretty good player as well. So I've liked their offense, fun vertical passing game, but again, not winning on defense and not beating Oklahoma. So then number 5 on my list is Gary Patterson. This is the guy where finally you're seeing on this list we're combining offense. So I'd say that West Virginia, Gundy and Holgerson are very similar guys. They love to throw it around, really fun system, fun to watch, up tempo, all offense, no defense at all, and probably not going to get close to a national championship. With number 5, Gary is the bridge, and then my top 4 is all elite coaches. So number 5, Patterson, really good football coach, doesn't recruit that well defensively. Offensively, a decent football coach as well. He did have Dalton, he did have Trevon Boykin. He's had some good quarterbacks in the past. He's had some speedsters at running back that can really play, all-purpose guys. He gets a lot out of his players. He's going to be number 1 for so many people. He's accomplished a lot at TCU, even before they were in the Big 12 in the Mountain West. So he has done very well. He's a good football coach, but in terms of making a program, just taking it to the next level, their progress is stagnant with Coach Patterson. And decent personality, but not going to get me out of my seat and make me want to go to Texas Christian. He's a good coach. He's pretty good. But here in my list, he's not in the. He is 5. But now we're getting to the top 4. All 4 of these football coaches. All 4 of these coaches right here. All 4. This is the cutoff point of the Big 12. These are the elite of the elite. These are programs that are going to take huge rises. I had this guy at number 3 on my list. I'm bumping him to number 4. You're probably thinking that he should be number 8 or 9. A lot of you guys throwing him way to the backside of college football. He's a guy that had NFL offers. He made Temple into a complete powerhouse, and I was there to witness it. He's taking over a dumpster fire of a program that is under so many sexual assault investigations. That is Matt Rhule of Baylor. I know that they won 1 game last year. Let's not be prisoners of the moment. This is why you guys are trying to tune in to Rover Sports. Try to find something different. Everyone's going to look at Matt Rhule, and when Rhule's win 6, 7 games and the program's going, whoop, then everybody will start ranking him a little bit higher, and Cliff Kingsbury will get fired and all that. He's going to be one of the best coaches in Texas. He's the 2nd best coach in Texas right now. He is number 4 on my list. First of all, Matt Rhule. Let me tell you about Matt Rhule. Guy made Temple football. Tyler Matakevich, Bernard Pierce was a good running back from Temple. He had the guy play Matt Leonidas, Temple, very good football team. They played Notre Dame on Halloween, almost went undefeated in the American Conference, devastated when he left. And the reason he left for Baylor is he wanted a challenge. And at Baylor in Waco with the new stadium that they just built, this program's going to get rocking again. This guy can coach defense. He coaches physical. He's a great defensive mind. And he also is going to run a lot of pro-style looks. They're going to be able to run the football. Trust me, Baylor is on the up and up. Guy could have interviewed for the Colts job. He didn't. Baylor, Matt Rhule is a stud, okay? And he is going to get things rolling at Baylor, okay? So I believe in Matt Rhule, and I'm the guy, the biggest Matt Rhule fan probably amongst the YouTube fan base, but amongst most people. I believe in Matt Rhule at a time when not a lot of people believe in Matt Rhule. So if this was in terms of stocks, if this was like the stock market here, Matt Rhule would be a guy that you can buy really low, and he's going to go. The other 3 guys, these guys are kind of rock stars, but this guy gets forgotten in the fray. Number 3 is Matt Campbell of Iowa State. This guy beat TCU at home. He went to Norman and beat Oklahoma. He was close to beating Texas. Had good quarterback play, had Alan Lazard, a good big wide receiver. He was on his 4th string quarterback last year, but he recruited the position so deep that he was able to still get wins. This is a guy that I believe they played Memphis in the Liberty Bowl and won that game as well. Bowl wins, Iowa State, from I believe Akron, hell of a coach. And the guy does big things for Iowa State. Again, not a place historically very good. He's got that thing rocking in Ames. I do like Paul Rhodes as a person, one of the great pregame speakers of all time. You can look up Paul Rhodes, and he'll say at Nebraska, "I'm so proud to be your football coach." Paul Rhodes was a great guy, great dinner guy, but Matt Campbell is legit. And Matt Campbell passed up some big-time jobs to stay in Ames for Iowa State. So Iowa State's going to be balling. They might even have a crack at the Big 12 in a couple of years. Number 2, this is a guy like Sean McVay. This is a guy that coaches offense beautifully. He's recruited one of my favorite quarterback prospects in a long time, Spencer Rattler. Has the same name as me in terms of Spencer. And Rattler is a guy that can scramble, make every throw in the bag. Lincoln Riley, great offensive mind. Eastern Carolina, he took that program. He made that offense fire there. Really good quarterback play at ECU. Then he went to Oklahoma And basically he's like Bob Stoops, except unlike Bob Stoops, he gets the big games. He won the Big 12 title. He already got to the playoff, and the team played beautifully in the Rose Bowl against Georgia. Their defense just didn't play on that level, and that's the one thing. That's where Campbell and Rule can get at him, because he is going to coach great offense, but he's kind of like Sean McVay. Can he oversee the whole thing? And at Oklahoma, they have the Stoops brothers still, I think, coaching defense there. So is he going to be able to take that next step from a defensive standpoint? His offense is so elite. They're going to get great athletes in there to Oklahoma. Young guy can recruit like heck. And he is a great personality, a calming, coolest cat kind of head coach. A guy that I would want my son to play for as well. Great guy. Cool guy, has it all under control. He's number 2 on my list. Number 1, the top dog, the alpha dog. He was number 1 in my list. He is number 1 for a while. He is a Grand Slam hire for the Texas Longhorns. And that is Tom freaking Herman. Tom Herman. Unbelievable. The guy last year, the thing's just getting started. I mean, he's recruiting quarterbacks. He's recruiting guys like crazy to come play at Texas. All right. He had Jefferson there, Connor Williams, yeah. Guys taking over for Charlie Strong, Mac, Brown, great coach, great guy. Had Vince Young, had a good year, had the championship. Great guy. Again, Texas fans. Gotta love Mac Brown. But the thing about Tom Herman, no BS guy. No BS. He one time, my favorite Tom Herman story thus far, is there was a guy left a water bottle down in the hotel lobby. Herman woke him up at 4 o'clock, made him get the water bottle. And I believe then he had to tape the water bottle to like his chin strap or something. Herman is a disciplinarian, runs a really tight ship, really authoritative coach. He has Todd Orlando there, a terrific defensive coach. He has Tim Beck on the offensive side of the football. He dealt with Ellinger and the guy Buechele, and both of them are marginal at best. They're very, very average, very bad arms, not really all that great. This team competed with Oklahoma State, held Oklahoma State to like 10 points in the game with Mason Rudolph. They were right there against Oklahoma. They beat Iowa State on the road. They beat Kansas State at home. They were right there with USC as well. This is a team that could have won 9 games last year, and he's just getting started at Texas. This guy could maybe win 10, 11 games this year. He's like Nick Saban. Out of every coach in the country, he might even be my favorite in terms of stock. So Tom Herman, number 1 on my list. And listen, guys, that is the college football Big 12 college football coaches rankings. Now, the thing is, if we're doing this just by chalk, we're going to have Gundy. We're going to have Patterson at the top of the list. We're going to have Matt Rule towards the back. We're going to have Campbell in the middle somewhere. But the 4 elite coaches in this conference for a while, it's Herman at Texas. It's Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. It's Iowa State. It's Campbell. And then it's Baylor. And then you look, maybe you'll get an Oklahoma State. You'll get TCU for sure. It's like, West Virginia with Will Grier, yeah, I'll come up every now and then. Kansas State's gonna I think, slide back. Tech's gonna slide way back unless they get a great coach after firing Cliff. Kansas is back. I'm saying way in the back of the conference. But Texas, Oklahoma's gonna be at the top dogs. Baylor's gonna be in there. Iowa State, unfortunately, it's Iowa State, so I don't know if they can contain relevant success. TCU, Iowa State. Those are the top 5 for sure. All right. There you go. Big 12 college football rankings. Leave your opinion down below, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I know it was a little bit lengthy. Thank you guys for watching. As always, appreciate y'all. Take care. See y'all. Have a great day. See y'all.